all? There we go. It's a big question. Am I working at all? I just leave it there. Some questions don't need to be answered. When we were children and we would play outside, we'd get, banged and bruised and nicked and scraped. The solution was always the same. Rub dirt on it. So we did. You wipe out on your bike going off a ramp, you rub dirt on it. Took a digger. We had a gravel driveway. We took a digger in the gravel driveway while playing basketball. You rub dirt on it. I don't know what the secret of this magic elixir was, but somehow we instantaneously went from bruised and broken to, back up and running. Just like that. Rub a little dirt on it. And it seems to be what Jesus does with this blind man. This blind man comes to him, and what does Jesus do? He spits in the dirt, and he creates some mud, and he rubs it in the guy's eyes. It's a little bit odd. It catches us by surprise because we have all of these stories of Jesus healing people. And normally he does so without rubbing mud in their eyes. He just touches them and they're healed. In the case of Lazarus, he just calls out to him and raises them from the dead. And he heals the centurion's servant from afar. Only say the word and my soul shall be healed, or my servant shall be healed. So why, in this case, does he go through this elaborate effort to make this clay, this mud, and then smear it? The gospel uses the word smear. Smear it in the guy's eyes. What is that about? And if we go back to the creation story in Genesis, we see how Jesus is bringing us full circle, because in the creation story, what does God do? He reaches in to the clay of the earth, the dirt, the mud, and he forms humanity. He creates us out of the dirt, the mud, the clay of the earth, and he breathes the spirit of life into us. And it's this reminder that we are whole, we are one, we are created of the same stuff and the same energy. We're as all of creation, as the stardust in the heavens and the dirt on the ground, we're all one. And we're reminded of this on Ash Wednesday. Remember, you are dust, and unto dust you shall return. This reality that we are rooted and embedded, we are created in this harmonious oneness with all of God's creation. And it's beautiful, and it's wonderful. And Jesus echoes it for us again with Eucharist, when he takes this bread made from grain that's grown in the fields. He says, this is my flesh, this is my body. And he takes this wine made from grapes of the vine, rooted in the earth, and says, this is my blood. Take it, eat it. Let it be you too. Become whole in this oneness. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely poetic, and it's wonderful, and it's this glorious demonstration and statement that however broken we are, however stressful and anxiety and whatever is going on in our lives, we can find wholeness by returning to unity with Creator and creation. That universal oneness. Simply brilliant. But then the gospel gives us the contrast, because they take the blind guy to the Pharisees. And the Pharisees are less impressed that his vision has been restored, that he's gone from broken to whole. And they're much more concerned that this happened on the Sabbath. See, the Pharisees are much more concerned with managing a broken world than healing it toward wholeness. Their preoccupation with rules and law and regulation, we have to be fair to them, because they really believe this was the best way to go forward in life, is to keep things under control and to use laws and rules and regulations to do that. Because if it started to spin out of control, well, the whole thing could spiral into darkness and chaos. But that's not why Jesus came. Jesus didn't come to help us manage brokenness and control division. He came to return us to wholeness with Creator and creation. All of it united in oneness. And it's wonderful. So this preoccupation with the law that the Pharisees had, which is, very similar to the preoccupation that we have in our world today with politics, is really all about how do we manage and control a broken world. And Jesus reminds us that's not why I came. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to help you manage and control a broken world. I'm here to bring you all back into unity and communion and restore wholeness and that oneness. And it's wonderful and it's beautiful, but it requires that we open our eyes, those spirit eyes, that we open them to the possibility and the bright light of wholeness and unity and communion, instead of being so preoccupied and focused on the darkness of division and brokenness and all of that stuff. That we just open our eyes and see the great light and the great love that unifies this loving Creator with the creation that we are all blessed to be part of. And may the Holy Communion of the Creator's wholeness rain down upon you. And may the Holy Communion of the Creator's wholeness stir the heart within you. And may the Holy Communion of our Creator's wholeness flow forth from you.